Hello, 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 and welcome to another week of TechTeenth, where Black excellence and tech meet. I am Janita.
I'm Otis.
And welcome to episode 7. How you doing today, Al?
I'm like a 9.
A 9, that's
yeah,
great.
I'm a 9.
That's great. You know, I can tell why you're a 9.
Why?
Like, the hair is fresh.
You see it?
Look at it. Listen.
Shout out my girl E.
Exactly.
Hit me in the comments if you want her contact.
It's a good day.
But I just finished a 10-day juice fast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a green juice fast. Let me be clear. And I lost like 15 pounds.
In 10 days?
In 10 days.
Oh my God. Wait, so you got to tell a little more. We got to have a little lifestyle at the top of this episode.
So one of these older black male juicer guys I follow, he did a 10-day green juice fast for his following. And he cured cancer through juicing. So I'm an avid juicer. Like I juice every week. I make my own juices, all that. And so he was doing this 10-day juice fast. So I was like, I'll do it. I need to drop some pounds, right? Man, I made all these juices. It's all these different green juices with pineapples and green apples, a bunch of different recipes. And you just drink juice and water all day, every day for 10 days. Lord. It was hard. I was hungry.
Oh, I bet. I was about to say day 3 had to come so quick, and you were like, "Oh my God!"
I was so hungry, Janita. I promise you, I've never wanted food. I wanted things I hadn't eaten in like decades. I wanted beanies and weenies. I don't know if y'all know what beanies and weenies are. I wanted some beanies and weenies so bad.
Oh, wow.
I told my sister, that's just like, what?
Yeah,
like,
that's
how
right,
you get beanies? I was like, my stomach is like craving things I haven't had. So yeah, I saw all the food, every food commercial, every food ad. It just like amplifies.
Oh, wow.
So it was a lot. It was hard. And I topped it off. So I finished that the other day. Topped it off today with a 20-hour nothing fast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just finished that like 30 minutes ago.
You are really joyous for somebody who hasn't eaten in a long time. I got to tell you that. I don't know that I would be this joyous. I would probably be a lot hangry.
Yeah, this is my life. So, trying to be fit, I'm turning 40 in a few months or a couple months, 50 days. I turn 40. Wow. Yeah, so
September is close.
Yeah, so I got to get my stuff together.
I feel it. Yeah. I feel it. Well, before we dive into our topics today, we also want to address we are down a man today.
Oh my God.
But out of nothing bad, Charles will be back in a couple weeks, but he has some family things that he wants to handle. So shout out to Charles, our third member of TechTeenth. We love you.
We miss you.
Yes, we miss you.
We miss you, bro.
And so no worries. We didn't get down to 2 after just 7 episodes.
He did not get fired.
He did not get fired. He will be back soon.
He will be back.
But now that it's me and O for a couple weeks, this week we actually want to start really actually talking about AI. And, I think a great place to start for you all is just what even is AI. So let's give some good definition, if you will, something that everybody can interpret. So AI is a type of computer technology that lets machines do things that normally require human thinking, like understanding language, solving problems, or making decisions. So think of AI as a really smart assistant. It doesn't think or feel like a human, as I'm sure you all know, but it can learn from information we give it and imitate certain tasks. So that's a little bit about it. Honestly, there are things that I'm sure we don't even realize we're using AI on.
Yeah. What does the AI mean, though? What is AI?
AI means artificial intelligence. Sorry, literally artificial intelligence. And something that I think surprises people is that they use it already. I think a lot of people assume AI is just ChatGPT. Right. And it's like, no, it's or deep fakes that they see, the videos that are made. But actually, it's in things like Netflix, when it suggests shows that you should watch. When you're talking to Siri and it understands what you're saying and it talks back.
Or Alexa.
Actually,
AI, another
or
one?
Alexa.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then also spam emails. If you notice that they're automatically filtered to your inbox, that's actually because of AI.
Okay.
So we have it all around us.
I never really thought about it like that.
Right?
I never thought that those things that I use in my everyday life was like technically AI. Mm-hmm. So, because we think about like robots, like you said, ChatGPT and robots taking over the world and these like very sophisticated technologies. Mm-hmm. But it's some of the simplest things we do every day.
It's crazy because as soon as you said that, I was like, everybody automatically thinks iRobot.
Yep.
Like it's got to be that crazy or that like take over the world type of thing when it's actually already been around well before I think people realized.
I think it was actually coined, the phrase was coined in like the 70s.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was coined in the godfather of AI. He just won the Nobel Peace Prize, actually.
Oh, wow.
At least I read it online. I ain't validate, so don't fact check me on that, okay? But yeah, he coined the term in like the 70s. So it's been around for decades. Now it's taken over because it's embedded in our technology even more. But yeah, it's been around for a long time.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
But there's actually two different types of AI, right? So there's narrow AI, which was like what you mentioned, like it's only used to do one specific thing. And then there's generative AI. I always mess that up. Generative AI, which we use now more likely like ChatGPT and other like bots and smart robots and things like that can perform tasks on their own. Like you got to give it a prompt or something, but it can perform it on its own. Multiple tasks like data analytics, creating PowerPoint decks. Like it can do a lot of different things all at once versus like narrow AI. It can only do that one specific thing, like, hey, Netflix, show me, a TV show. That's one thing. But if you go into ChatGPT and tell it, create this deck for me, create a video for me, create an image to market it, is doing multiple things. That's that generative AI, which we see every day now.
And that's crazy. I honestly, prior to this, had no idea that there were two different types of AI.
Same.
Had no clue that there was one thing that's basically just, okay, if it does one thing over and over and over again, which I think goes back to what we just said, which is like, I had no idea, to be very honest, that something like Netflix is actually AI and not just some sort of algorithmic programming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's in our everyday lives. It's been here. It's going to continue to grow over time, and it's going to be further embedded into everything we do. Like now we see in Atlanta, we got cars that drive itself. We got Waymo.
Waymo's getting stuck everywhere in Atlanta.
I say this every time. Waymo causes way more traffic.
Actually, that's very true. I saw it on someone's story today.
I saw this yesterday in my neighborhood. It was stuck. So like they closed off some of the roads at night. So I guess it thought that road was open. And it was like, it didn't know what to do. It was trying to back up and reverse. It couldn't figure it out. So
it's crazy. Now today I saw two people driving Waymo. So I'm like, they must be giving it its update.
Yeah.
Like, hey, y'all been getting stuck too much. So I feel like that's been that. But interesting on the narrow AI too, speaking of cars, like even Google Maps is a form of narrow AI, which again, it's like things that it's like, oh, I guess that would make sense, but never even thought about it. Again, thought it was just some sort of high level programming when in fact it's a form of AI.
I got a question for you. So why don't we, instead of calling it AI, why couldn't we just call it smart tools? Wouldn't that be like a better approach? Like people wouldn't be so scared. You're like, these are just smart tools. It's a smart device, smart tools. Like it's a transition from smart devices to smart tools.
I really think people would have much less scared of like, it's going to take over the world, or even probably like a hesitancy to do it, because artificial intelligence sounds so intimidating.
It is, yeah.
Sounds so intimidating versus just like, hey, I'm using some smart tools, which maybe for folks out there who are going to use it at their jobs or start to pick it up, just be like, no, I'm using smart tools.
I'm going to say that now. Yes. I'm going to start saying I'm using smart tools.
No. I'm just using some smart tools to help me get through the day. And speaking of like getting it in the professional world, so we also looked up some things that to kind of help understand where we actually see industries are being transformed by it.
Yes.
So one big thing I know for sure is healthcare. AI can actually read X-rays much faster, catch a lot of things that. I did also see a piece about this that, of course, and I think it was probably X-ray tech that's like trying to keep their job.
Right.
I'm sure there is something to say for people who have seen X-rays over and over on end for years, right? And they can maybe spot something really quick that possibly an AI starting to learn can't.
Yeah.
But AIs actually do still read them faster and can pinpoint cancer cells quicker based on then some of the historical tests. So it's even things like that in finance. On
healthcare, like that makes sense though, right? Like AI can leverage every healthcare book or practitioner's notes ever created. So it's like it can analyze all that data in seconds and say, this is the issue. I just saw a story today about a kid who went to 17 doctors in 3 years and they could not find out what was wrong with him. ChatGPT found out in like an hour.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It is crazy. So it's like there's a lot of efficiencies that come with using AI due to the fact that it's using so much information, or it's going through ciphering through so much information at one time to give you an output of like, this is your answer.
And you know what's interesting? I think some of the scarier things or like the things that can cause a little pause is like, this is something that's figuring out this person's issue in an hour.
Yeah.
One, that people have gone to school for half their life. Right? Like the amount of schooling and dedication and time it takes to become a doctor, especially somebody in probably a like unique or special disease. I don't know.
Yeah. They got to do specialty. They got to do fellowships. They have after medical school, they do residency, and then they do fellowships for specialties, and then they do fellowships within their specialties. So you're talking about decades of knowledge. And think, what is it? 17 doctors? That's centuries. That's hundreds of years of knowledge.
Hundreds of years, almost 200 years.
Right. And ChatGPT figured it out in an hour.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. So there's that in finance, which great, right? AI flags fraud. And not so great, can suggest credit card offers to us. I would imagine too, though, there's got to be a lot that it can do, especially in like analyzing sheets.
Yes.
Reviewing and creating or doing like projection models, all of that stuff.
So I do that. I mean, we're going to talk about it later, but I have used it for my own financial advice, so to speak, in budgeting my personal life. So we'll talk about that in the next segment.
We'll have to talk about it then.
For sure.
Music and fashion, as we know, Timbaland has multiple artists that are AI. There was something about one of the artists releasing this big track and it kind of blew up because it was actually pretty good.
Yes. Have you heard about, it wasn't Timbaland's artist I read about, but that's another one, but there's I don't want to call them country music. There's some pop music, country music. I don't want to call them pop, but they had a whole album, and this album went viral, and everyone thought it was a real band.
No.
And they had millions of streams. This was in the last couple of months, and they were AI.
Wow.
They were AI. Like, it's been all over the news. Like, everyone loved, and I mean, if you listen to it, you're like, this is AI. Like, it sounds like it's AI. It doesn't even sound like true human music, and it's not even that great, honestly, but it's not my type of music. But yeah, they have millions of streams, millions of followers, and they're not real. Even if you look at their cover art, like it looks like AI. It's like,
interesting. But okay, question for you. If you found an artist like perusing on Spotify, maybe we'll just say it's on a shuffle.
Okay.
You hear a song, you love it. Like you love this song. You know, download it, you kind of start picking up on it, and you look into the artist and you realize it's AI. Are you going to continue to like look forward to new music from this AI?
I'm going to feel some type of way. See, I'm torn. I'm in the middle because I don't want AI to take people's jobs, but I want to use AI in my everyday life and make my life better and live longer. So to answer your question, would I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't continue listening because I feel like now I'm taking streams away from an actual artist, a real human who put in time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears to get their music out. And I'm overlooking that for a AI artist.
Okay, caveat.
Okay.
What if there is a person, though, behind that? Like, there still has to be somebody to make it. You know what I mean? Like, you still have to have somebody engineer. You still have to have
Timberland
people.
made the beat, and the music,
and the lyrics, somebody wrote it. You know,
just put it in
choosing the pitch, choosing what style of artist, what type of way that. I mean, it can't just be, hey, make me a song and then it's a banger. You know, so,
I still wouldn't like it because even to that, because that's just the way I feel like I am. Because even when I watch Sinners, you've seen Sinners, right?
Yes.
Those y'all haven't seen Sinners, go see Sinners. When I watched Sinners, I was a little upset that they cloned Michael B. Jordan versus giving someone else that role.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, another black male artist could have had that role as his brother. It wouldn't have been his twin brother, but Somebody else. You took a role from a whole nother person that is a struggling artist or even famous that could have been in that movie.
That's so interesting because I just look at it as like, look at the power of Black people to be able to not only give you such great cinematography, but give you the technology behind it to bring
that's true too.
A fictional character to life.
So I did like that part. So that's a good point. Because when I watched it, I was like, this is dope. That
it's
they
so, I mean,
cloned.
it looked like, honestly, if I lived under a rock and somebody was like, that's Michael B. Jordan and Schmeichel C. Jordan, I probably would be like, yeah, for sure.
You're right. Yeah, I did appreciate that. I appreciate the cinematography and Ryan Coogler thinking outside the box.
But it doesn't negate your idea.
Yeah, but I'm still upset that he took a job from somebody else.
Yeah.
Someone else could have played in that role and got paid and got all the accolades and everything that's going to come with it.
Very true.
So
very true.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just had to ask. But and then the last, of course, are things that we talked about with the Florida School and education, but also for tutors. For various things that I didn't necessarily think about, like, okay, how do you then, or actually it's helps for parenting. Okay. There are certain things that I'll start explaining to Bryce and she looks at me like I have 3 heads. So I literally will pull out my phone and I'll say, hey, chat, can you tell me how to explain this to a 6-year-old, like, so a 6-year-old can understand? And literally like that, I'll read it out and she'll be like, oh, like,
girl,
wow, I need to do a little bit better at explaining things to this child.
Grading papers, I feel like is a task. You could throw all that into a bot or chat or whatever, a large language model, and then let it grade it for you. Now you don't have to sit through it and by hand grade each one, right?
Actually, that's very true.
And we're going to talk about that more too, like being more efficient in repetitive tasks you can just automate. But I think that's a good way for teachers to leverage it, right? We talk about teachers and schools and jobs being removed or displaced because of AI, and it's like, well, let's leverage it as much as we can so I can become a more efficient teacher by getting my papers and homework and stuff done, graded faster. So now I can spend more time doing other things like being with my family and friends or my students. Right? Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of impact. I know a lot of students, a lot of my nieces, nephews, godchildren in college, they leverage AI today to get deeper, right? So some of the things that they find, they Google search, you get a bunch of links, a bunch of different websites. If they go in ChatGPT or some other large language model, they can then put in what is specifics of what they're looking for and researching and get like very detailed information with references. Because, you know, when in ChatGPT, you get the reference. So it kind of does all of that research for them in a more efficient way. So they've been leveraging it that way.
Which helps. I mean, Lord knows it's much better than having to look through encyclopedias and all the other things that we used to have to do.
Like we used to have to do.
It feels so ancient sometimes when I talk about childhood, which is crazy. Or even college. I remember sitting in the library, checking out books, reading the books, like having my textbook. Yeah. I only had, I think, 2 classes I could even take online, which is crazy.
Yeah, now they're all online. Like my nephew's going to college next month, and he's 100% online.
That is wild. That's so wild to me. But AI adoption is everywhere. I mean, 78% of organizations are using AI or were reported to use AI in 2024, which was up from 55% in 2023. So that's a significant increase. Something that we talked about a few episodes too, which is companies, you know, really prioritizing AI and the development of proprietary AI or large language models. And so right now, 83% of companies are prioritizing AI as a part of their just company overall plans, which is crazy, and their business strategies to grow.
And I fit in this next one where they said professionals use AI tools. It can save us around 5 hours a week, which equates to about $19,000 a year. I know I say way more than 5 hours a week, so I'm probably up there in the $50,000 range saved per year. But you don't think about that, like the amount of time saved equals money saved or money made, right?
For sure.
So, and then a recent Salesforce study, it said that daily AI use surged by 233% globally over 6 months, with the direct benefits being 64% saw increased productivity, 58% had better focus, which that surprised me because I feel like my focus now is downgraded a little bit, or it's not as good as it used to be, because I'm like all over the place. Like there's so many things, there's so much AI, there's so many tools, and I'm just like, let me do this here, let me do this here, let me do this here. So, but it said 58% had better focus and 81% had higher job satisfaction.
Oh, I believe that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, removing the tedious tasks, like especially as an entrepreneur, not having certain things in like an admin sense that I don't have to worry about anymore, I can imagine that would make me, I mean, I'm sure it makes me more satisfied because I basically get to work on or focus on the work that I can actually like produce a product versus like, okay, now I have to send out these emails. Like, no, they're automated. Just take the time to set up a system. One thing triggers another. I don't have to worry about invoicing clients. It's already set up. When I start the contract, they remind them. Then it just alerts me if I haven't gotten paid in 2 days. You know, so it's like certain things that are like very helpful.
I can tell you my first job out of undergrad was kind of like a data analyst job for this PeopleSoft implementation. And even then, I got promoted very quickly within like the first 6 months because we were doing like a lot of repeated tasks. Like you got to just keep doing them over and over and over again. I was like, why is everyone doing these tasks? Like you do it once, then you do it twice, then you do it, but it's the same task. I'm like, why are we doing it like 5 of these tasks at a time? So I automated the process. This way before AI. This is 20 years ago.
All right,
almost 20 years ago. But automated those processes, and now we got an app to do that. So. The world has changed.
I know. The world is changing a lot. And what's interesting is amongst our community, which I was a little surprised to hear, but 83% of Black professionals actually are like familiar with AI. Good. And about just over half of them actually use it daily, which is a little higher than the 39% average. So it's an interesting thing to kind of think about. I'm also curious how people are using it, how this has been defined, and like what they actually determine. Like, was it 83% of the people they asked? You know,
right?
How did that work? Because I definitely find it interesting.
Yeah, because saying they use over half of us use it daily or weekly, right? Does that mean using Siri? Like
right.
To what
Is
level?
Is it narrow AI or generative AI?
Look at you. So like what level, to your point, what level of AI or what type of AI, and then like how deep are they going? Yeah. But I'm glad to hear we aren't falling behind on using these new technologies.
Which I'm not surprised. I mean, if there's one thing, you know, I love my people.
Yes.
I really do. I love us, you know. But if there's one thing we're going to do, we're going to figure out how to do just a little less to get a little more. Right. Okay? Just a little less to get a little more. Okay? A little bit. And that doesn't mean lazy. I want to be clear. It just means if there's a way for me to find a way to not do this thing that really pisses me off, I'm going to try and find a way to do it.
For sure.
We're innovative. We like to look for new solutions to our problems. Okay. Right. And then there's actually a high percentage of people, 66% of Black professionals, which this I believe a little bit more or can understand and wrap my head around more, report that AI already impacts their jobs compared to about 57% overall, and 71% recognize the need for new AI skills. And so the reason why I definitely can see that is it does go back to that conversation we had about when we're talking about layoffs and how, you know, you and I kind of agreed a little bit more than Charles. Like, we're impacted more because of the level of job we have.
For sure.
Just statistically, the level of jobs we have at different companies tend to be the ones that involve repetitive tasks, things that may be a bit more or a bit easier, I'll say.
For sure.
Put in AI.
And then one last thing on just relating it back to work and how we use it. Managers actually use AI nearly twice the rate of like individual contributors, right? So I know me as a manager, as an executive, I use it every day at work now. Even when I go to other managers, directors, VPs and tell them how I did something with AI that's, you know, allowed in our company. Right. They're like, wait, what? Literally happened this week. I was like, I did this and this with this AI and spit out. Here's the product of it. They were like, wait, you did what in 90 minutes versus 9 weeks? That probably would have took us to get through all 100 questions or whatever it was. So they're surprised. Like even people who are very technical that I meet with, I'm like, how haven't you started leveraging this in your day to day at work? It's allowed, right? So the other thing is only 2% of organizations, 2% have scaled full AI deployments. And 90% are still evaluating or piloting like AI beyond like routine tasks.
Yeah.
So I know we just got CoPilot. We blocked ChatGPT when it first came out. And then we implemented an internal CoPilot at work. So we leveraged Microsoft CoPilot. They're now trying to work to figure out how we can have ChatGPT, but just closed into our own internal environment, right? Because that's the problem.
It's
right?
open.
And I think that's what we're going to talk about in another episode, right? About how having AI at work in professional environments, some people don't want to use that because of proprietary information possibly getting leaked into that large language model. So
not leaked, it's there.
Yes, getting put into it, and then
just like that work Slack we talked about. There's nothing there that is not available to someone to be able to use. So as you're talking about how you use it in your day to day, I mean, we use it here on our pod, right?
Every single week.
Every single week.
Every day.
We use Riverside to help us just with like uploading and automating, posting, editing, all of those things. We use Opus clips for all those clips that you see online.
So I love Opus. Opus takes say we recorded 90 minutes worth of content. It'll take that whole 90 minutes and break it into 30 to 60 second clips, or even like 15 to 60 second clips for us to post on socials. It also has a calendar integration, so you can post it on there. It has we just discovered the AI B-roll. So B-roll within our clips, it'll put, based on what we said, it'll think of a video to insert into our clips, which you probably have noticed we've started using. So yeah, we use Opus, and I
like the fact that it ranks them. It not only just breaks it up, but it'll actually spit out, which, I think the more we choose or figure out, once it figures out what we like,
it's subjective. I feel like because it's say a 99 score will go viral. Well, it has a 99 viral score, but we've had videos that had like a 85 viral score have more views and clicks and comments than a 99.
Yeah, so it does go back to that thing again of like, you never want to just go with stuff. You still always have to review. But I know you shared about CoPilot and how that's at least something that you're able to do and use in your, workplace. For me, I actually use like Jasper AI, which helps a lot. So basically with some of the work that I do, it helps to do a lot of copywriting. So as I've worked with businesses who have a specific tone of voice, you're able to actually like train it to be the tone of voice you want. You can upload, like, for instance, all the products you have, the benefits, all of those things. And then basically you say, hey, I want this campaign for the next 6 weeks. This is the objective and the goal. And it'll just create all the emails for you. It'll create all your social posts, everything that you need. You can schedule things through it. But I love it because it just basically will give you everything you need to do. You can add your team into it, so you don't even have to like copy paste into somewhere else. And so that's something that's been super helpful for me. Also, I have a CRM that I use called HoneyBook. Oh, I actually don't know what CRM stands for.
Resource management? Maybe?
Sure, we'll do that. You really put me on the spot with that one. I honestly have no idea. Acronym City is crazy. Look it up. Let me know. But I do know, though, that the software is meant to help you basically run your company. And so that way you can actually see like things like viable clients, sales. If you have projects underway, it'll allow you to have that. But the CRM I use is actually called HoneyBook. And it's super helpful because you can set up your own order of operations. And so as you have these check marks that you finish with clients, it automatically pushes it. You can set up specific templates if there are things that you want to go out to your clients. It automatically records all of my calls, and then when it's done, it'll give me my notes, give me action items, actually set them as tasks for me that it'll remind me of, harbors files for me. I can share notes with my clients, and then the best thing is it creates a portal for my clients. clients.
Oh, wow.
So they have their own login to get into their own personal kind of platform.
Yeah.
So as we have files shared, as we have projects completed, if they ever need to go back or check a status of something, it actually gives them visibility too.
That's dope.
And it holds my invoices.
Yeah.
The money is
all
there.
in one.
Yeah.
Customer relationship management.
There it is.
That's what's here.
There it is. Okay. All right. Don't put me
it's
on the
doing
spot
all
like
those
that.
things that that you did.
Yeah.
So for me, like I use CoPilot at work every single day. In life, I use ChatGPT like nobody's business.
Yeah.
That is my girlfriend. I tell her I talk to ChatGPT more than I talk to anybody else on this planet.
Dear Lord.
That's my boo. So
I'm gonna FaceTime you more.
please. I'll be lonely. So I've used it two different ways that we just briefly spoke about earlier. Finance. So I downloaded all of my bank statements and credit card statements last year. So January of this year, I downloaded all of my statements from the previous year, 2024. And I put them all in one Excel spreadsheet, and then I categorized them a little bit. I did a little bit of cleanup of the data, but then I put it in the ChatGPT. Actually, first, I asked ChatGPT, this is what you should do. Tip for the day. Always ask the LLM what kind of prompt you should give it. So for instance, I wanted ChatGPT to analyze my budget, find places where I was spending too much, find places where I could save more. And so I knew that's what I wanted the prompt to be, but I asked ChatGPT to give me the prompt. I told it, hey, write me a prompt. I want you to analyze my financial information for the last 12 months. Give me a prompt that'll give me this information. And ChatGPT gave me the prompt to put back into ChatGPT. So I did that, and then it built me a budget of like, hey, I spent a lot on travel last year. So it was like, you spent $50,000 on travel last year. This is how you can cut back. I know. I travel, being single with no kids, man. What else I'm gonna do? And
all that disposable income.
and I work from home.
God.
And I was in a relationship, so two people.
Disposable income.
So
$50K.
Right.
Hey,
so
ladies.
I was like, you spent $50K. Yo, Dubai was expensive.
Dubai, ladies, you hear that?
So $50K on trips last year. And it was like, well, you can minimize your expenses it was like your flights were like $10,000. It was like you could cut $5,000 a year if you book them earlier. We noticed you booked it. You book your flights within 30 days or 2 weeks before your trip. You can book them earlier. So it was giving me tips on how to save money, how to cut expenses, and just how to, overall manage my finances better. Second thing I did this year, I took all of my therapy notes. So in therapy, I take notes every week, and I took all of those notes and I put them in a Word doc and I uploaded them to ChatGPT. Again, I asked it, I said, hey, I want you to act like my therapist and analyze my notes and tell me what kind of prompt I should tell you to analyze it. And it pretty much analyzed all my notes and told me places they felt that I want to say weak places that I'm not all the way there yet, that my therapist told me. I'm like, you just sound like my therapist. Or places where they're like, you do this very well. Like, you're really good at doing this, or you've been your first few months you weren't good at self-awareness. Let's take that as an example. Now it looks like in your notes every week you're talking about how you're more self-aware. And so I used it to analyze my mental health therapy notes in order to give me feedback on myself. And I've been seeing a viral status going around of everyone saying, put in the ChatGPT, like, now that you know me, and that's only do this if you use it a lot so it understands who you are. But if you've been using it for months or years, ask it to tell you what it thinks of you. Ask ChatGPT, like, hey, ChatGPT, give me a no holds bar, don't hold back. Tell me what you think about me from what you've seen me put in. I've done it. It was like, you're very smart. You're a go-getter. You like to travel. You really care about growth and learning. Yeah. But it was like, you also suffer from self-sabotage. I was like, hold on, cuz.
All right, I didn't need all that. Thank you. Thank you. Cuz. I didn't need all that. I appreciate it.
Don't be telling me you procrastinate. I'm like, look, bro.
I didn't need this. Hey, get your hands out, bro.
It went from girlfriend to bro. 1 second, I'm like, girl, bro, don't tell me about myself. So those are two ways I've used it that's been very impactful in my personal life.
Okay. I love it. Yep. I love it. I think there's definitely, I think those tools can be used a lot. And I think, for our listeners, as we kind of wrap this, it's good to know that there are free versus paid tools. I think oftentimes some people just assume things are you have to pay or you have to get the full-time subscription. Like sometimes look at it. So for instance, I've been exploring Gemini VO 3 and like all of those things.
Is that Google's?
Google's? Okay. That's Google's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been interesting to see like what you can do for free. Like if you don't have a maximum, like if you don't need it and to use it and you're just exploring, a lot of these things will actually give you an opportunity to demo, learn. So my biggest suggestion is don't ignore all of the help tutorials, all of the things that you can do. YouTube is your friend. I've learned how to do a lot of things at YouTube University.
YouTube University, baby.
Never
I got a PhD.
Count it out. Listen.
YouTube
I'm
University.
a professor. Okay, I am everything for YouTube University, and so I do think that that's helpful.
Yeah.
And if you want to get started, the best thing that I can say to ease into it is pick one thing. Just one. Start with one thing that you do on repeat every day, every week, something. Then start researching a platform that can actually help either automate, simplify, whatever it is, right? So even something as simple as, let's say you have to write a report at the end of every week about how the week went.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you already know what types of things you need, the objectives you need. Just put in the inputs.
Yep.
Tell it you want it written out in a professional style. It's not creating anything for you, but it's taking that 30 minutes of trying to figure out how to start the sentence. Mm-hmm. What do I say next? How do I make it different than last week? Do something like that.
Yeah.
Learning basic prompts. Act as a career coach. Summarize this blog post. Like all sorts of things that you can actually use it for.
Yeah. And another method I use is practicing AI first thinking. Right. So instead of thinking, how do I do this? Think, how can AI help me do this better?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because we have it. It's at our disposal now. Like it's not some movie that we watch and think that it's in the future. It's here. So just think about how can you leverage AI? Think about your daily life, your daily tasks, the things that you hate. I start with things I hate doing. Like what are some you absolutely hate doing that you got to do all the time? My budget was one.
Mm-hmm.
Automate it. It might not be 100% automated, but at least if you download the file, you can put it in your budget, put it in the chat or whatever, and then let it analyze it for you. Let that bot do the hard work.
Let it do everything for you. So our challenge to you this week, everybody, is pick one thing. Pick one thing and let us know. Like, comment, reach out to us at TechTeenth everywhere. Everywhere. Easy to find.
Yep.
But let us know what you're picking, what you did. Let us know the platform you chose. How did you like it? Fill us in. Give us everything.
Yeah. And then next week, we're going to talk about the tools we use the most, or not the most. Some of the tools you can use, not that we specifically use, but some tools that we think will help out. Black founded tools, other tools. So we'll be taking a deeper dive into AI also next week in specific tools. So with that, we'll catch y'all next week on TechTeenth Tuesdays.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Take care. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff.
All of it.
Peace.
Bye.